welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're flying from Key West up to Opa Locka. It's a continuation in the TBM series. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the flight. Hey Johnny, what's going on? Yeah, I did a little research on it. and basically I was doing the right thing, except I didn't know I was doing the right thing, so I didn't know I needed to follow it a certain way. So today I'm going to test out a little bit more of it. I found out some interesting facts about how the VNav works with the Garmin 1000. Hey, what's up, Craig? Welcome back from Scotland. How are you doing, my friend? Let's see, we're about to get out of here. Let's go ahead and there we go. So yeah, this is just going to be a continuation of the my TBM series, and I'm going to continue a flight from Key West here and head up to Opa Locka, and then call it a night. Maybe chat a little bit. I don't know. Just depends how tired I get. Sucks when you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. But the good thing is I work from home tomorrow, so I think I'm going to study up on some more stuff about this Garmin 1000, which I'm not too familiar with. I use the FMC that are in a lot of the bigger jets. I find it easier, quite frankly, because you just program it and go. Let's see, flight altitude. Today we're cruising at 19,000. Current altimeter is not that far off from standard. Pretty good. Alright, landing lights on. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Since the other night, I actually had a pretty good amount of subscribers follow this channel, so if you're sharing help, thank you. Alright, flaps, go ahead. back towards the magenta. I haven't done a night flight yet while streaming, so this is the first. I've done it non-streaming, so I've already had my PC crash on me once tonight, and I'm not sure what that was about, so if it suddenly drops out, that's probably what happened. Kind of led us astray. I think it has to do with this computer coming out of Key West didn't have a particular departure set up. See if that takes us in the right path. Alright, this got us on the right path. Cool, good to go. Commercial separator. It's pretty dark out there. It said it was cloudy in Florida right now, so according to this, take that with a grain. It's like our friend from Scotland drops in, says hey, and then dips out. Yeah, so this isn't going to be too exciting of a flight, just because it's nighttime and there is a pretty good weather system around Florida right now, so we won't be able to see much of the the ground, even though we're above water. I think about the only time we'll be able to see stuff is when we get back down to landing altitude. So basically what I learned about the VNav is, say we want to get to that 4,500 feet at that DHP waypoint. So before you get to a degree of less than 3% of a descent, you have to hit VNav. And then VNav will take over if you're within that parameter and descend you down to the altitude you want to be at. But if you're past the top of descent point, then it won't do anything. You're basically left to manual at that point. And that was the issue I was having the other day, because I didn't realize when you get to that point, if you're above that certain percentage of degree, then it won't activate properly. So, little error on my side, but I was kind of educating myself on it. But this computer system in real life is so advanced, it takes a while. Turn that off. Why it was causing an issue. Alright, so we reached our cruising altitude, and quite frankly we should be over Florida in no time. So basically, I think what I read, if I want that 4,500 degree altitude, you hit enter. Yeah, and it's still not doing it for me. Maybe it's just the system, I'm not sure. I've looked through the manual too, but the developers of this airplane doesn't go too much into the Garmin 1000. So just try our best. Hey Ryan, what's going on? Thanks for joining the channel. Tonight we're just flying from Key West to Opa Locka. Short flight, probably around 30-40 minutes. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do another flight after this or not. It's still early in the night and I kind of got some energy, so I just don't know what I want to do yet. I'm currently trying to learn this Garmin 1000, which is a tasking in itself. I appreciate that. Yeah, if there's anything you would like to, if you'd like to see, let me know. I'm dedicating an entire series just to the TBM and then also the Flight Factor 767 since that's my two main high fidelity modules. This is the TBM 900 by Hot Start. It's sold on the X Aviation website. It is my second favorite. Well, from a small airplane standpoint, it is my favorite. From a airplane standpoint, is my second favorite, but that's only because I have really two airplanes to really go off of. Because some of these modules get pretty pricey, and I don't want to invest too much more into X-Plane just because when Microsoft Flight Simulator comes out, I'm probably, I don't know, I'm not going to say I'm jumping ship, but depending on what the content is like, that might be my primary go-to, and then, you know, if this might be my secondary. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. Just like that, within probably 50 miles, I will be starting my descent. So I may do another flight. I didn't realize it would go this quick. Yeah, I hear you on the 2020 and the FSX. I never had the FSX, but I had every flight simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator before that. And I think the only X-Plane I had before this was like X-Plane 9, but that was so long ago that I really didn't have the computer set up to even run it. So you'll like X-Plane 11, no doubt. You know, if you look at my Steam account, it says I have, I think, somewhat close to 500 hours logged into X-Plane 11 alone. And it's a great time killer. It gives you the fundamentals you need for flying. Because every bit of this knowledge that I'm trying to gain here is basically when I go to start flying in real life, it helps a lot. So I see 5400 right there, but I wonder what that's referring to. I want the computer VNav. Let's see what that shows. Yeah, I want to start doing Zibo the 737 from Zibo on here, but recently it's been crashing a lot, so I haven't started that, but it is a very nice module, especially being free. And yeah, I can imagine there's so many actual 737 pilots on YouTube right now that they always fly that, which is surprising because it's like, well, you do that on a daily basis. Don't you want to fly something else? But I understand it's good practice. Trying to see where my top of descent is because for some reason I cannot get this VNav right in this thing. I even watched some videos on it because I'm more of a visual learner. I mean, I can read from books, but I do better from watching, and it's still not seeming to work right. Maybe it's because I couldn't enter a departure, a full flight sequence layout for this. I'm not sure. I definitely need to learn more about the Garmin 1000. Let's see. We just crossed over. You see a little bit of the swamplands down here. It's very faint though. No real lights yet. I live in southeastern Virginia. What about you? Alright, so just made our next waypoint. Let's see. Yes, it does. It does throw failures. So the interesting thing about this is it records it. I don't know if you can see it right now, but this is a brand new airframe. Right now I have almost 24 hours on this airframe, but it does have a dynamic damage model. Let's see if I can... So you can see a whole bunch of stuff about engine temps. It's very well modeled, and when we get on the ground I'll show you a little bit more about the maintenance. Let's see. Yeah, I'll show you a little bit more because it's a whole menu you can go into, and it's pretty impressive. But the airplane has to be off for you to actually go into it. Oh, so it actually worked. Okay, awesome. Did it? It acted like it was. Oh man, I think I might have canceled it. Stupid me. Alright, so... I need to descend at 3,000 feet a minute. So I did have it working correctly, I just screwed it up at the last minute. So... Alright, so I do see some lights up there. Wonder if that's coming into the Miami area. No, that's way too fast. Alright, 2700 should hit our... Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully that's the case. So if you look down here, where I'm pointing at, this is the VS required. So it's basically saying I need to descend at 2,400 feet per minute to reach my target of, I think it's 4,500 by the next waypoint, by the end of the waypoint. And that's how it works. So basically, you hit the enter button from what I saw today, and then it inputs it over here, which you can see I had the VNav selected. Problem was I canceled it out after it started the descent, so I messed it up on my own. Alright, let me slow down a little bit. So I believe it's got me vectoring. Let me just go ahead and clear this out. I can't quite see the flight plan from here. I know that's OPF right there. I don't think it had me flying over Miami Airport like that, but that's just because I'm not using a real ATC in this. pretty foggy over Miami right now. Oh yeah, well, the thing about actually getting there, getting to use all these fancy computers is you have to learn how to fly manually with just manual instruments, so that's part of it. So in essence, all the stuff that the old timers did, we basically need to learn how to do, but the difference between probably the old timers is they had not fly-by-wire airplanes. That means they were constantly always adjusting, and most modern aircraft today are, you know, modern enough to where it's really easy to fly, and that's how they really want to make it. Okay, so now I need a vector over 1700 VNav. So let's see what wonky shit this has got us doing. So it definitely did not take us to like plan, direct, enter. Yep, there we go. So we should be downwind from Opa Locka. We're basically, it's on our right side right now. So there's Opa Locka. And I believe this is 12 that they're going to have us landing on. Alright, so it looks like yeah, I'm still need to descend some. I'll go ahead and lower flaps. So basically the idea was to come in from the west, hit this waypoint right here, and then it would vector us in. But like I said, I'm still trying to understand this Garmin 1000 and how it operates with this plane. lights on. Strobe, everything's good. Inertial separator. So I do have a surprise coming Friday that I will be using in all my upcoming streams to get a more feel on things. So I'm pretty excited for that. Something just to assist. I would actually do more VR stuff, but I don't know how it would be with the streaming with the VR, and I don't know if my computer can handle it. Yeah, it's nothing crazy, but it'll assist me in my flying. I'm pretty excited. I've been trying to get this one particular thing for the past couple months now. So I had a little bit of cash saved up on the side. So now I get to purchase it. I got the permission today from the other half. My goal is to have, by the end of this week, I will know how to operate this G1000 completely, in and out. That is my goal, because I'm tired of dealing with this. And I would fly more manual, but nighttime flying with manual, I mean, I'm pretty good with reading instruments at nighttime, but I wouldn't trust myself to fly from Key West where it's like pitch black over the ocean. But I mean, crazier stuff's happened. And yeah. Well, it's not really permission. I just have an understanding with her that I won't just go out and purchase stuff on a whim, even though, you know, I can if I really want to. I gotta think about my son and everything. Alright. So, I want to pause it right here for a second because I want to get this ILS in, make sure it's working. I cannot remember what the ILS for 12 is. It's just one of those things that I like doing. I kind of forgot to do it tonight because this live stream was kind of on a whim. I didn't know if I was actually getting on tonight, but my goal is to do at least 2 or 3 a week. Let's see. KOPF. Okay. I got OPF. plus 12. Alright. Once I get the frequency, I think I should be good. This is 111.55. Oh, it's already in there. Okay. My bad. Okay. I don't know why it keeps trying to go into roll mode. Alright. Intercept the ILS. There we go. Go yaw dampener off. And this green diamond right here, that's the ILS, that's the glide slope. So basically it will tell you if you're in a good position or not. It's going to be a little bit of manual. Landing lights on. Good to go. Oh, does your son play DCS? Because I play DCS, I hate doing it without VR. A little bit of manual action. I always get so tense when I go to land because I'm always afraid I'm going to mess it up. So not too bad. Sometimes I impress myself. That wasn't no. A lot more factors could have played into a worse landing. So should I just pull into the hangar? I think so. Have this legit. All right. God, that is so annoying. I get it. I turned off the airplane. All right. Well, that wasn't a bad flight at all. So, let me turn off light so it doesn't drain battery, because it does model that. Okay, let me go to the outside. Let my passengers out. Alright, so what I wanted to show you is this maintenance manager. And if you look here, it says total expenses 925,000. I don't know what that's from, but the TBM is like, I want to say 4 or 5 million, so that number doesn't make sense. But you can go into the engine maintenance menu, and it will literally show you like everything about the engine that could need to be replaced. And then the landing gear. Let me go to a daytime environment so you can see the outside. Let's see. Apply changes. Okay, so landing gear. Like if you want to access landing gear, you know, it jumps up the airplane or puts it on stands, and then you could, you know, simulate replacing all these parts. Electronics, you can access the crash bar down, turn off the electronics. So you can access the electronics menu, and it'll tell you if you have any errors with that. And avionics, same thing. Lights, airframe, if you have any stress at different points on the airframe. And then, you know, if you have emergency oxygen and deplete it, then you come and fill it. And it basically gives you a rundown of like actual maintenance cost and everything. So that's what I love about this airplane. It's very dynamic. The code on this airplane is written very well, and it's always up to date. That's the other plus. So that is why it's one of my favorite. And I hope the Microsoft one, which I mean, with their development team and the resources and money that they have, it's going to be impossible for it not to be good. I just don't want it to feel too arcade-ish, which that's what I like about X-Plane. It doesn't feel too much like an arcade game, which in some flight simulators you can like make it seem like it's an arcade game, but I'm more into it for the realism. That's why I, spend the money that I spend. Because hopefully one day it will help me actually like fly. So, other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. The TBM is one awesome plane. Let's see, put all this stuff back on it. It won't even let you put like until the engine fully cools down. It won't even let you put the blade caps on. It, I don't know. Everything that you could think of, they modeled it inside of this thing. That's why it costs so much. So it's worth the money. I think it is. I mean, it's brought hours upon hours of joy to me. So, let's see. It's still early in the night. Yeah, they did their research. I'm pretty sure that they actually went to Cicada. Cicado. I can't remember how they pronounce the manufacturer, but they did their research. That's all I can say. And if you're like a beginner pilot, let's see, this Air Lab Cessna. This is a great thing to learn on if that's what you're going to be, doing flight training with. They modeled this very well. I have noticed it's kind of glitchy. I'm not a too. If you get into this flight simulator stuff, you'll get to know this brand that's called Carenado, which I have one or two of their modules. I do not recommend them for what you pay for them. It's like the developer makes them, dumps them out there, and then basically the person who uses the module is left to their own after that. Like, I have modules that I own from that company that some of the features of it don't even work like they should, and I've had it for a year plus and they've had ample amount of time to update it, and it's just like, come on guys, I paid for this. Why can't you at least show the support for the module itself? But I mean, I don't know. That's the irritating thing about X-Plane, and I hope Microsoft, I hope Microsoft, um, the way they allow implementations for I hope the way that they allow implementations into Microsoft Flight Simulator, I hope they just don't let any developer that charges money just put stuff in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope they actually control it and make developers sign an agreement saying like, hey, if you're going to sell this product and you don't keep it up to date, we're going to yank it off. I really hope that's how X-Plane does it, but they don't. Mr. Rodriguez, thank you for the like, by the way. I didn't forget about you. Welcome to the channel. I'm just going over this replay. Quite interestingly, I have the landing lights on, but it does not model it on the ground during a replay. I just noticed that. Anyways, I think it was a good landing. It was a good landing. And I don't know. So basically, my TBM series is going to go from airport to airport, and I'm trying to, simulate it as real as it can get. And that's why I'm not just starting at any random airport. I'm basically starting at an airport where I leave my TBM at. So if you're following this channel and you want to see me fly to a certain airport, nothing too extensive. I know a colleague of mine um, is going to be running a series of him trying to fly around the entire world. I think it's like 255 stops in the TBM. Um, I'm not interested in anything like that. I just think that it's going to be impossible to complete because even with a real-time airplane, like in real life, it takes like 4 or 5 months, and that's flying around in a Cessna. Granted, this airplane's a little bit faster, but for my timeline with what I'm trying to do with my channel, that's just not feasible for me. I don't have the time just to sit here and fly all day. So if you have any requests of where you want me to see, well, first of all, you're gonna have to keep track of where I'm at. And that's why, you know, follow the channel, and you'll see where I landed at last. Fly Philadelphia International Airport. Okay, that can be done. Um, just in my channel, I think I asked a question on a comment or something. Where would you like to see me fly? Make sure you put that in there, just so I don't forget. Because sometimes with these videos, you have to actually click in the video and then watch the video, and then sometimes the comments don't show up until the end. So yeah. Um, if you want, I can go ahead and I'll demonstrate another aircraft real quick. I'm not going to get... No, I don't. I just came from Key West. Let's see. I'm at Opa Locka, KOPF. So when you fly too many places and then you go there too often, you memorize the airport codes. That's how I know all these. South General Aviation Ramp. Alright, I'll just leave it there. I don't know where exactly this hangar is that I'm at now. Welcome, by the way, if you're following and watching this channel. Make sure to follow my Facebook page because I will be doing more detailed flights in the TBM and the Flight Factor 767. Um, I have whole two series on these two aircraft alone, and then I'll also be doing a tutorial series on each aircraft on how to operate them. Of course, when I get to learn the Garmin, 1000 a little bit better. So, all right, this is the Airfoil Labs 172. Uh, it's a nice aircraft. Um, I have noticed a little bit of glitches with it. It's not friendly when you go over like an hour and a half to 2 hours in this aircraft. It tends to get glitchy because the way that it's supposed to work is exactly how the TBM works. And the TBM will save itself every location that you stop at, and it will save every parameter like flight hours, exactly how you left the aircraft. This is supposed to do the same thing, but I found out after a couple of hours of flying this, it loses track. So basically, when you go to exit X-plane, it will go back to like an hour and a half, before you even landed, and that's the last thing that it's saved, and that's what is kind of irritating. But like I said, this aircraft is very good for general aviation practice. Like say you're actually, learning to fly in real life. This is probably the closest you can get to real life 172 practice, and that's been said by multiple pilots. So that's just not me speaking. Um, it's pretty good. It's got some kinks, but it can be worked out. So. And it does a good job of trying to, you know, teach you how to work this.
The engine needs
Miami
a
Executive
more
Information Echo.
So as you can see, it needs more
Zulu
prime.
weather. Wind light and variable.
The engine
Visibility more than 10.
Primed.
Sky conditions 7,500 scattered. Temperature 25, dew point 21. Altimeter 2997. Arriving runways 09 left, 09 right, 13.
Battery
Departing runways 09 left.
So as you can see there, there's an issue.
Advise on initial contact, you have echo.
And I don't know what it was. Failures, maintenance. So it says the battery is low, so I'll reset that, but okay. Let's try this again. Maybe I didn't ram in the primer good enough.
The engine needs a little more prime. The engine seems ideally primed.
Miami Executive Information Echo.
So as you can see,
1400 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable.
They try to make it as real as possible.
Sky conditions 7,500 scattered.
And I'm not going to troubleshoot this tonight.
Dew point 21.
But
altimeter 299.
Tune in later. I'm going to try and do another flight tomorrow night.
Departing runways.
Alright, that's getting annoying. I'm going to try and do another flight tomorrow night. And yeah, try to tune in. If I don't fly tomorrow night, I'll make sure to put out a calendar event saying, you know, whether or not I'm actually going to fly tomorrow night. I'm going to try and get in a habit of that. So if I'm going to fly the night of, I'll put out a, you know, an event in my page, and then just go about it that way, because I don't want to do what I did tonight with just out of nowhere just start streaming, especially if I'm trying to gain followers and stuff like that. It's not good business. Not good business, but you know, I like to give my followers a heads up just so that if they want to watch that they can. But I am recording it too, so everything that I do that sounded wrong. Everything that I do perform the night of, it's going to be uploaded to YouTube either that night or the next day, so you'll always be able to follow me somehow. Other than that, what do you mean? I wish I could see you fly. Are you talking about tonight? Yeah, if you're talking about tonight, you joined a little bit too late tonight, but like I said, I'm going to try and be flying tomorrow night again. So just be sure to catch me then, and I apologize again. You just happened to join while I was in the middle of, well, I already landed, and then, you know, I was just chatting, because I wanted to show off the realism of the airplanes. Don't know what that noise is. But anyways, Jesus, join me tomorrow night. If I end up flying tomorrow night, I'll put out an event on my page, and then yeah, we'll go from there. It seems like the stuff that I'm doing, people are enjoying, so I'll try to keep it around the same content, and then, you know, it might get some other ideas, you know. I always like sparking ideas off of individuals. Constructive criticism, that's all I am. So, All right, well, thank you for watching tonight. If you happen to watching, and I'll catch you later. Thanks. Bye.